All right, hello, everyone. Sorry for the
Hey.
late start. This is called I need to check my messages before I set up for stream. Um, so,
No, it's my fault. I needed to eat because I was about to pass out, so I ate. That was me, guys. Sorry.
we have a slightly late start, but like that's fine. We are in no rush. We're early today, so let's get started with our giant recap. Yes, last Shibuya stream was over 2.5 hours long, or 2 3/4, 2 1/5/6. I can't read what that thing is, even with my glasses on. But fasten your seatbelts for this recap. Okay. Number 1, in a failed attempt to save Minorikawa from the explosion by distracting him with Miku, we got Maria blown up. So we got Achi to send Hana her way so that Maria could get distracted by Hana becoming Aya Kamiki's new songwriter. Yay! At least
That's
she's got a
fine.
future. The explosion
Right.
gave Maria flashbacks to Kanan in the Middle East. She still doesn't know who Kanan is, but, like,
Be like that
progress.
sometimes. Yeah.
Okay, 2. Osawa is lamenting his cuckoldry and dissociating. Kano took the present Sasayama was going to give his wife before Alcadawan stabbed him. Stanley got him to confess that he told Hitomi to get in the van, let us punch him in his stupid American face, and then we ran to the explosion where Kano believes he sees Hitomi dying. Yeah. 3, we got the timeline where Maria is trying to usurp Chiri as the Queen of Gluttony and tried to avert it by having Minorikawa stop Yanagashita from getting tied up at the knick-knack shop. In the process, we got Miku distracting Minorikawa about her martial arts career right next to the explosion. Achi's slight change of words saves him from standing too close. Yeah, because that was very bad for a bit. Okay.
I was scared.
Yeah. Minorikawa impersonates a Yakuza to get SOS to point him to Susumu. I still cannot believe that worked. Then
Same.
he overheard
What
Kano
the
and
fuck was
Stanley talking about the virus conspiracy in a bathroom until Yanagashita started leaking. Yeah, I had to say that I was leaking way too many times that stream.
What's question?
We got a call claiming Toyama killed himself, which we don't quite believe because we don't know who's in the car, except for the fact that we'll go. That's going to be later in the recap, I'm sure. Stanley briefed Kano about the importance of finding Maria and the antiviral to save everyone, because Maria is infected with the WA virus. And then we watched a broadcast before meeting Shizuo at the cafe. We're pretty sure Shizuo is Osawa's Ayakamiki buddy, Pretty Honey. We told Shizuo to leave Shibuya for his safety and got his approval. Yeah, so now we can marry his daughter.
We finally got Daddy's approval, y'all.
Yay!
Yay.
And then Osawa and his wife have been informed that the search for Maria is canceled because detectives figured out she's alive but infected with the WA virus. We told them to look for Tanaka to get the antiviral, but we found out that Tanaka is the corpse in the burning van, and I is sad about it. And finally, we ended the stream before I can tell you that misspelling your name in the death note on purpose will kill you, so it has to be accidentally misspelled 4 times to make you immune. So basically,
Yeah, we didn't know that.
None of us should be writing our own names in the death note, is what I am taking away from that.
Right, and then you guys didn't hear this because I think we hung up the stream, but I was like, see, Light could have won if he, convinced Misa to do that for him, because she would, and then he would have been immortal, or something. I don't know. So he could have won! Anyway.
Yeah. Okay, we are at a new time block for everyone. Who do you want to start with?
Okay, new time block. Ooh, let's go. You know what? She's already on screen, Mari.
Alright, let's go. Let's start off with Maria.
She's already there.
I feel like we always start with Maria at first
Right.
because she was in the cat suit.
Right.
But yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot. We are being extorted again.
Oh, nice.
Remember,
My
because the man in the
favorite.
cane comes up to us and says that he can use us as bait for Hitomi.
My favorite.
All right. I walked to the counter of the throng of people heading towards the scene of the explosion. The explosion happened in Shibuya-ku, Jinani-tome, near the intersection of Koendori and Organ Hill. There's a gun pressed against my back, leaving me no chance but to continue marching forward. I don't have time for this right now. There's something I need to do. I don't remember what, but there's something I need to do. My frantic sense of urgency grows and grows. Kanan. The only clue that I have is that name. The other hazy snippets that have surfaced in my memory provide no answers.
Mm-hmm.
Please, just tell me, I murmur. Do you know who I am? When the man with the cane doesn't answer, I stop in my tracks. I'm going to start shouting, I warn him.
If you want to find out who you are, then do as I say.
The barrel of the gun jabs more forcefully into my back.
Once we find Hitomi Osawa, you'll remember whether you like it or not.
I guess I have no choice but to keep moving then.
What a rude bitch. Anyway. Are your memories really that precious to you?
The man mutters as we start to move again. I'm taken aback by the question. Well, yes. I mean, isn't that pretty normal? There's a bit of a pause before he replies, his voice sad and distant.
About that. Oh, you're not going to remember just the good times, you know.
What do you mean?
Yeah, you'll remember the bad times. I mean, that sad and painful memories are going to resurface too.
I guess I hadn't really thought about that. But still, whatever kind of memories they are, they're all a part of me. I'm the person I am now because of the sorrow and pain, too. I want to remember. I want to remember who I am. The gunman directs me dispassionately along a series of quiet side streets.
Right here.
I stop at his words. In front of us is an old multi-tenant office building. We ride the elevator to the 8th floor, then we use the emergency exit to take the stairs up to the rooftop. Okay.
Yeah.
A cool breeze blows across my cheek. This is like in an Otome game, except for the fact that I have a feeling this is not an Otome route.
Yeah, I hope he's not gonna push her off the roof.
Yeah.
Cause I'd be angry. Sit down here.
I
There,
do.
Sarge.
I do as he says, settling myself on the outdoor air conditioning unit. The man lowers his gun, but keeps it in hand.
Well, wait here for a bit.
For how long? He lets out a rueful chuckle.
I guess we'll have to wait and see.
I decide there's no point in trying to fight with him. For now, I have to hope he's telling the truth, and whatever's coming will help me get my memories back. If I don't know my past, how can I know what to do about this Kanan stuff? Or anything else? I stare up at the sky as I wait for whatever this assassin is waiting for. The silence between us is suffocating. Finally, I can't take it any longer. Hey, so I think this is yours. I hold out the notebook I picked up earlier. The man's surprise is plain on his face.
Where did you get that?
I saw the picture inside. He snatches the book out of my hand.
Fine. No touching.
Then he flips through it, looking sad. I'm afraid that another agonizing silence is about to descend when he speaks at last.
This is a picture of me and my childhood friends.
His voice is low and quiet.
We were inseparable back then when we were kids. The boy here, he liked to fiddle with machines, always doing things like taking apart radios and whatnot, putting them back together. It was a total bookworm too, so he got picked on a lot. But I was always there to save him from the bullies.
All of a sudden, the guy's in a sharing mood, I guess. I can feel his aura of murderous rage starting to abate.
The girl here was the same age as us, but she felt more like a big sister. Whatever stupid things my other friend and I got up to, she was always willing to laugh it off.
Alright, so do we want to stay quiet and keep listening? Do we want to ask what her name was? Or do we want to know if this was a love triangle?
Are we nosy as fuck?
What would we like to do?
Let's see. Let's. You know what? I feel like it'll give us. Oh, actually, they said love triangle. Okay.
Alright.
Fine. We'll be nosy.
So, was this some sort of love triangle? Well, okay then, guess I'm the nosy sort. The man grimaces but nods.
Oh shit. When we were in high school, she told me that she liked me. So the two of us started dating.
And what about the other boy? I ask. The man
You got
casts
me? No.
the man casts his eyes down but doesn't answer.
Well,
He was in love with her too, wasn't he?
I wound up breaking up with the girl, and he was furious with me for it.
Because you were in love with him, right?
Yes!
Isn't this how this works?
Oh my god, it's perfect!
Isn't that what a true love triangle is?
It just writes itself, y'all.
Yeah.
It just writes itself.
The man carefully slips the notebook into the pocket inside his jacket.
Oh yeah. Hello. I'm incapable of making other people happy.
Why's that?
Because that's the sort of person I am.
He lets out a little chuckle, then stands up and brushes the dust off his pants. He looks strangely lonely. And we've hit a keep out already.
Oh, that was fast.
So now we know that he was in a love triangle.
That's pretty hot.
Who he was in love with, the jury's still out on.
I mean, can't we go back and ask what their name was?
We can if you'd like.
Yeah, because I feel like that might be a
clue. That was
clue.
not what I meant to do.
I feel that might be a clue for some reason. That's what my original pick was going to be.
Okay, so... What was her name? I ask, curious to know more.
Kotane. We dated when we were in high school.
Oh, wow. But I get the impression from that picture that the other boy must have liked Kotone too, right? The gunman's eyes widen.
You're very astute.
Call it a woman's intuition, I say proudly. Then I ask the obvious follow-up. So, what happened to you two?
I dumped her.
The man carefully slips the notebook into the pocket inside his jacket.
She looks so disappointed.
How come? I ask.
Loki, she looks so disappointed.
Judging you just a little bit.
Right. She's side-eyeing him so bad. I felt it was for the best.
He lets out a little chuckle, then stands up and brushes the dust off his pants. He looks strangely lonely. Well, he wouldn't have to be lonely if he didn't dump her, so...
Right, bitch.
Alright, either way, we get a keep out.
Okay, so hopefully the Kotone doesn't come up, but it might. So.
It might. We never know.
It might.
Alright, who do we want to do now? Hachi, Kano, Minorikawa, Osawa.
Let's see. Let's go Osawa, because I'm interested to know what the hell is up with this man right now.
Alright. Osawa. I don't want to know how people feel. All I want to know is what viruses feel.
We're off to a great start.
I prefer viruses because they make no move to encroach on me from the other side of my microscope. They leave me free to let my thoughts wander as I wish. And while it may be true to say I understand viruses, I have never been able to understand my fellow humans. I don't know them. I don't know a single fundamental thing about them. Da-da-da-da!
This man anti-socialist.
I feel him. I don't have a thing for viruses though, so
yeah, I don't know what his virus kink is, but
With Tanaka dead, trying to use the backup passwords for the fingerprint scanner had become a hopeless endeavor. The only remaining means of gaining entry to the storage area was to issue an emergency unlock request to the electronic lock manufacturer. And in order to do that, they needed approval from the 6 members of the board of directors. Returning to his study, Osawa called Makino's personal cell phone.
what is it?
Makino said gruffly as he picked up. Osawa informed him of the situation, including Tanaka's death and the fact that Maria was infected. The news left Makino at a loss for words. Please, Osawa begged. You need to hold an emergency board meeting. Makino was silent for a few moments.
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Fuck you. Why not?
Yeah, bitch.
Are you just going to sit by and let my daughter die? Osawa raged. And not just her. If Maria goes symptomatic. That was still only an if, but Osawa was reluctant to put his fears into words. If she goes symptomatic, the Wa virus will sweep through all of Tokyo.
I realize that.
Makino replied.
But one of the board members is overseas on business. Holding a meeting is impossible.
Despite the gravity of the situation, he sounded astoundingly nonchalant.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah. Osawa couldn't back down now. There must be some other option, like a web conference or something.
Y'all like Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay, no. That doesn't help us if we can't get in touch with him.
Makino huffed.
He went missing a few days ago in the middle of his business trip.
The head of Okoshi Pharmaceuticals' New York branch has been missing since April 25th, 9 p.m. local time. There have been no demands for a ransom, and so the New York Police Department is investigating the possibility of some other form of foul play.
Well, that's hella sus.
Yeah. Osawa was almost too appalled to be angry. That's the most ridiculous lie I've ever heard.
Would you like to speak to my on-site contact if you don't believe me?
This was like arguing with a child. If Makino was deliberately working against him, he'd never know if this disappearance was real or not. In that case, can you please appoint a representative in his stead? Osawa pleaded.
Selecting a representative is a complicated process. Even if we started right now, it would take until sometime tomorrow afternoon to complete.
Tomorrow afternoon? By then, it would be too late for any of this to matter. Sir, can't you see how absurd the things you're saying are?
What would you have me do?
Makino barked.
Angrily. Oh, these are the realities of corporate politics.
I don't care what corporate politics are. The entire city is about to die.
Literally, bitch. It's called an emergency.
Yeah, I understand, sir. You will do nothing for my daughter. That's what you're saying.
That's not what I'm saying.
Makino replied. Yeah.
Look, I'll see what I can do to appoint a representative more quickly.
He hung up.
Bye, bitch.
His tone had suggested that waiting for an appointee wouldn't be a terribly hopeful prospect. I have no more allies, Osawa thought. All I have left now are foes. Okay, are we going to try to get the antiviral by ourselves, or wait and take Makino at his word?
I feel like... lol, also would be in Kamen Rider X said he would. Anyway, I feel like Makino is an incompetent bitch right now. And I can't trust a man to do his damn job. So I think we're gonna go rogue.
All right.
For now. And yeah. Do it as you don't. Yeah, I'm gonna be a strong, independent woman who don't need no man.
Exactly. He couldn't count on anyone anymore. Osawa was just going to have to get the antiviral by himself. Tanaka might be dead, but there must be some way to get that lock open. Taking extra care to avoid the notice of detectives, Osawa snuck out of the house and headed for the garage. And we've hit a keep out.
Oh wow! Amazing.
Okay, who next?
Okay,
Achi, Kano, or Minorikawa?
Let's go visit our boy, Kano.
Kano? Alright.
Yeah. Your boy.
Your boy. Your boy who has decided he's going to save all of Tokyo rather than be with his wife, fiance, girlfriend thing.
Arriving back at the Shibuya precinct, Kano hurried to the interrogation room. With the investigation currently on hold, he knew that taking any official action would be tricky. He was going to break through this stalemate. He was going to need Tatano's help. The abduction. The ransom. The briefcase, really. Maria's release, and then Tanaka's death. Man, I'm having a bitchin' day, aren't I?
Yeah. I think we all
Maybe,
are at this point.
yeah, maybe Tatano would be able to figure out how all these elements were related. But first, Kano needed to check something for himself.
Oops.
Kano needed the prisoner to set the record straight. Unless he wanted to set the record gay, then, you know. all Kano sat in the precinct interrogation room, looking brazen and cocksure. Wow, that's a word.
I don't
I've
know what
never...
that word means,
Right,
but
I'm like, you're cocksure? I don't know what that means. Okay. One glance at his face, and Kano was reminded of what had happened to Sasuke. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm
Yeah.
angry at you, bitch.
yeah.
Fresh anger smoldered at the edges of his mind. Like, I really want to punch this guy in the face. Yes, there are two detectives already in the room. It
It
seemed
seems he wasn't made privy to the details.
one of them told Kano.
Sounds like they were following orders carrying that briefcase around.
The other added, "Thanks, Team Rocket." No. Kano sat down across from Alcarawan. Alright, bitch, talk. There's something I'd like to ask you, he said.
We were just paid to do a job. I don't know anything more than that.
His Japanese wasn't perfect, but he understood the language well enough. Tell me, how did you manage to escape from Detective Tatano?
Escape? I didn't.
A faint smile came to Alcarawan's lips.
He let me go free.
Liar! Detective Tatano would never do that. Kano slammed the desk with his fist. Anyway,
I didn't have handcuffs on, did I? He took them off for me.
This had to be a lie. It's not like there weren't other ways to remove a pair of handcuffs.
After he took off the handcuffs,
Alcarawan continued.
he pointed his gun at me.
Cut the crap! Kano grabbed the prisoner by the collar. But Alcarawan went on, unperturbed.
He kept the gun pointed at me, but he didn't pull the trigger, so that's when I ran.
Why would Detective Tatano want to shoot you?
Because I saw him.
Saw him? Saw him do what?
Let me tell you something interesting.
Alcarawan said sardonically.
There was that girl who was carrying the ransom, right?
Kano pictured Hitomi standing anxiously beside the statue of Hachiko.
That guy Tatano was trying to kill her.
What? In a fit of rage, Kano drove his fist into Alcarawan's face. His colleague rushed to interpose themselves.
Kano, calm down!
No! Knocked to the floor, Alcarawan gingerly fingered his split lip.
And after I gave you such good info, too.
He grumbled. Detective Tatano was assigned to protect Hitomi Osawa, Kano shouted. You can't expect me to believe you're rubbish! He lunged around the table, ready to throw another punch, but his fellow detectives held him back. Alcarawan looked away indifferently.
It's your Detective Tatano you should be arresting, not me. That girl's going to get killed.
You need to step in line, pal, Kano bellowed.
Kano!
His colleague shouted.
You're the one who needs to step in line. Go and cool off for a bit.
No, I angry. No talk, I angry.
Weirdly enough, you cannot beat prisoners in jail.
Oh, that's pretty sad. No, just kidding. Expelled from the interrogation room, Kano immediately pulled out his cell phone and called Tatano's number. Please pick up. He closed his phone tightly, pleading under his breath. But Tatano didn't answer.
Nice and sketch.
That's sus.
We don't have a dictum that says always answer your phone now, do we?
No. Or check your Instagram feed. No, okay. Kano sat down in a chair in the hallway in a bit of a daze. He found himself holding the present Sasayama had gotten for his wife. Okay. I have to do something. I just don't know what I'm supposed to do. His relentlessness gnawed at him like a rabid animal.
Hey, Kano.
He looked up to see Oh, wow, it's Kuze. Wow.
Mhm.
Not in a van, standing beside him, his expression grave.
I have an update on Sasayama.
The director began. Oh god, please don't. Kano swallowed the lump in his throat.
It seems the knife went in deep enough to do some organ damage. He's in critical condition.
Bitch, don't tell me that. I see. Kano bit his lip hard. His handkerchief, red with Sasayama's blood, clung to the wrapping paper of Sasayama's present. You should probably clean that.
Yeah,
Kano.
please do not give his possibly future widow
Right.
a present with his blood all over it. Just gonna.
Here, ma'am. Here's your birthday present. Happy birthday. Oh, by the way, it's covered in blood. I hope you like that.
Yeah. Not just any
Very
blood, your husband's blood.
Right, it's very unsanitary.
I thought you might want this reminder of him.
You want a DNA sample?
Yeah.
Oh no. Kano peeled it away carefully so as not to tear the paper beneath.
What's that?
Asked Kuze. Sasayama had me hold on to this for him. It's a present for his wife.
I see.
I'm sorry, Director Kuze, for ignoring your orders. Kano's eyes remained fixed on the gift as he spoke. When you get down to it, none of this would have happened if it weren't for me. Some kind of punishment was surely headed his way for acting alone as he had. He probably wasn't getting out of this one with a simple written apology.
When public servants are negligent in their duties or violate regulations, they can be punished with a warning, a formal reprimand, reduction in pay, suspension, or dismissal. In the case of a warning, in addition to the remonstration from a direct supervisor, the individual must also submit a formal letter explaining the relevant details and assuring that it won't happen again.
Seems legit.
Mm-hmm.
But Kuze calmly shook his head.
What happened to Sasayama isn't your fault. Don't blame yourself.
Ed.
As far as this case goes, I've been given quite the runaround myself.
There was a rare note of vulnerability in Kuze's voice.
The higher-ups have barely let any information trickle my way, but they're still ordering me around non-stop. It's a real pain in the ass.
That's rough, buddy. Kuze fell silent, ruminating. The quiet lingered between the two men for several moments before he abruptly spoke again.
Oh, right. I'd like to get your opinion on something. So, Mamoru Tanaka, who we found in the minivan, you know? What you think? Should we oughta maybe release his name to the media?
Kuze's hand slipped into his childish register. He was clearly exhausted.
After dealing with the kidnapper's baffling actions and too much meddling from the higher-ups, even a veteran like Kuze is just beat. But that's not the only reason for his exhaustion. Kuze has a brother, 6 years his senior, who despite being nominally mature, refuses to get a real job and shows no inclination to settle down with a family. He walks around town day after day dressed like a hippie and treating passerbys to songs he's written. Kuze has been worrying about his shiftless brother for years now. The guy's become a chronic source of consternation.
Oh my god. Wow, I didn't expect this whole life story, but here we are,
Here we are.
Wow. Something new every day. Okay. Kano was thrown by the question. It was a rare thing for the directors to seek an opinion from a mere junior detective.
It feels like there's something not too normal about one of Kenji Osawa's subordinates dying.
Kuze went on. Kano had the same thought. This felt too intentional to be a coincidence.
So, here's the question. Should I get the media involved and try to rush for a resolution? Or should I be more cautious? What would you do?
About releasing the name? Kano asked. That wasn't such a simple thing to answer. There were so many factors to consider. A tired smile came to Kuze's face.
Don't think about it so hard. This is just so I have a point of reference. Tell me what your gut says. Alright, shall we say releasing the name should be okay? Should we hold back for now? Or do we just say, I'm not paid enough for that? That is above my pay grade.
I ain't paying enough for this shit. I think we should hold back for now. Because what if we release that information and the wrong person hears it, and shit goes down.
I mean, the
You know
only
what I
thing
mean?
that I can think of is that Minorikawa is operating off of the um thought that it's Toyama that burned
Oh,
in it, not
true.
Tanaka. That's the
True.
only thing that I think might be different.
Yeah, yeah, 'cause he thinks Toyama's dead. He
Uh-huh.
doesn't think Tanaka's dead.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, you know what? Let's help out your boy Minorikawa and release the name.
All right.
I think releasing the name should be all right. There are still a lot they didn't know about Tanaka. The fact that the final stop for the ransom relay was Tanaka's condo implied some sort of connection between him and the kidnappers. But they still had no idea what his role in the abduction might have been. They also didn't have any motive for why Tanaka would be helping the kidnappers in the first place. By sharing some of what they did know with the public, they might be able to garner some new leads.
You'd release the name. All right then.
Without another word, Kuze headed back towards the conference room. On the TV, the governor's press conference was still going on.
I've just requested that each of the railroad companies, starting with JR, stop running trains through Shibuya Station until further notice. As far as the roads go, Route 246 has already been closed to traffic.
The executive looked pale as he spoke to the crowd.
Is there any possibility of a bioterrorist attack? What about the people who are still in Shibuya?
The reporters unleashed a barrage of questions. The governor's face scrunched up.
As I've already made clear, this is not a complete blockade. There's nothing to stop anyone from leaving Shibuya on foot. Because modern law does not have a system for enacting martial law, there are a few ways that the government could effectively quarantine Shibuya. In the case of a potential viral infection, the infectious disease law allows for the city to be partitioned into areas of restricted movement. If the authorities do not want to acknowledge the existence of the top secret WA virus, however, taking such an action would be rather tricky legally. Isn't that what you're describing, de facto martial law?
Spat one reporter.
Of course not!
The governor snapped.
You should be well aware that martial law is illegal. I couldn't declare it even if I wanted to. If you wanted to. So this is a bioterrorist issue then. I never said anything of the sort.
The press conference was devolving into chaos. Kano was unsurprised given the circumstances. Still, everyone was doing their best in so far as they knew how. So why not me? Kano thought. It doesn't matter what I do. I just want to be doing something. Just letting time tick by without trying to take action was more than he could bear. Kano.
Alright, are we worrying about Numi and to give her a call? Do we want to go visit Sasayama in the hospital, or do we want to try to contact Sasayama's wife?
Well, Sasayama seems to be right there. So I feel we should go see our buddy old pal, because he might be dying.
Alright.
I was worried about Sasayama and decided to visit him in the hospital. Oh wow, the chat said wife, and here I am. I'm like,
well,
bros before hoes.
Too late.
I said bros before hoes, my bad. As he was making his way towards the hospital, Kano spotted a girl sitting on the pedestrian overpass.
Hi, Hana.
Hello! She looked like she was small and on the verge of tears. Concerned, he stopped beside her. Are you waiting for someone? He asked. The girl simply bit her lip and said nothing. Are you lost? Do you need a policeman?
The relatively low crime rate in Japan, combined with rather high police personnel numbers in Tokyo, mean that officers, particularly beat cops, often have plenty of bandwidth to deal with more minor issues.
Look, we're not Larry Butts. We aren't gonna hit on Sasayama's wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not us. Where did you come from? Kano tried. Still nothing. He had just decided to go and call for a female officer when the girl hesitantly spoke at last.
Heaven Publishing.
After a little coaxing, she told him where that was. It turned out it was on the way to Shibuya Central Hospital, not too far from where they were now. Why don't I take you there then? Kano said. I'm already headed in that direction anyway. The girl seemed a bit reluctant at first, but eventually she agrees to go with Kano. We have a baby sitting now. Kano parted ways with the girl outside the building where Heaven Publishing was located. He noticed that she hesitated to enter at first, but eventually vanished inside. Oh dear. Kano's phone rang as he was about to continue on his way. When he peered at the incoming call display with his heart nearly stopped. Oh shit. There was Tatano's name. Kano quickly pressed the button and accepted the call. Hey bitch, why didn't you answer? No. Detective Tatano? Wow. Detective Tatano, is that you? There was a whole mountain of things Kano wanted to ask. Just what had he been doing this whole time? Why had he let Al-Karawan go free? And what had happened to Hitomi? But while he was trying to decide what question to pose first, Tatano spoke.
I've secured Maria Osawa.
What? That word came out as a startled gasp. Detective Tatano, you have to bring her in ASAP. Right now, she's... Tatano cut him off.
You need to bring Hitomi Osawa to my location at once.
Hitomi Osawa?
Yes. I heard over the wireless that the man from the U.S. Embassy had her in custody.
Kano had been listening to the most recent wireless traffic. Apparently, Stanley had managed to find Hitomi. But what was Tatano getting at here? Wait, hold on. What for? I mean, why do you need me to bring Hitomi Osawa to you? There was no reply. Detective Tatano, answer me, please. Tatano replied as if he hadn't heard Kano's questions.
There's an office building in Nanpei called South Hill. I'll be waiting for you on the rooftop. If you don't bring her, I'll kill Maria.
Danny? The heck? Sir!
Have you put the, have you connected the puzzle pieces yet?
He's the man with the cane! Shit! Well...
Now you know why he hasn't been around for a while.
Because he had a cane! No, because his foot broke and stuff. Anyway, with that grisly warning, he hung up. And now everything's sus. Kano handed... Wow, English! Okay, Kano's hand went limp. His phone slipped from his grasp and fell to the floor. I can't believe it. I am losing to a rug. Okay,
So, Tatano is trash. Now we need the Stanley dictums, and we'll be fine.
Oh yeah, time to go burn some shit. Kano went to South Hill in Nanpei.
The building takes its name from a rough translation of Nanpei, the name of the area where it's located. The official name is South Hill Building, but since this is awkward to say, it is frequently shortened.
Not bad. He hadn't brought Hitomi as Tatano had demanded, nor had he reported the situation to Kuze. First, he wanted to meet with Tatano and find out what was going on. He took the elevator to the 8th floor. After that, he had to take the stairs to the rooftop. As he made his way up the steps, he tried to imagine what Tatano might want with Hitomi. He hadn't noticed anything suspicious about the senior detective in the lead-up to the stakeout at the Scramble. Tatano had seemed like the same man Kano had always revered. Nanpei-dai's real name is Attaché Building? No. Tatano had seemed like the same man Kano had always revered, so why was he doing this? Besides him being a bitch. Kano couldn't think of a reason. Reaching the top of the staircase, he at last stepped out onto the open roof. And now we scared.
We should be.
Oh yeah. At least we look cool. The time for the half-baked conjecture was past. Kano would lay his doubts at Tatano's feet. Then, soon enough, everything would become clear. Inwardly, Kano did his best to convince himself of that. A warm breeze blew against his cheek. He took a look around, but saw no sign of Tatano. Detective Tatano? Where are you? Getting no response, he began to walk around the rooftop, calling out several more times. It's Kano. I've come as you asked.
Where's Hitomi Osawa?
Kano whirled around when he heard the voice behind him. Tatano stepped into view from behind a water tank. He led with him a young woman, bound and blindfolded.
Why didn't you bring her?
He growled. Kano stared in shock. Detective Tatano, why are you doing this? Is that really Maria?
And we can jump there.
Tatano responded by removing the young woman's blindfold. With her blindfold removed, Maria slowly opened her eyes. Then, as she gazed past Kano, a panicked look crossed her face.
Ah!
She shot one arm to point. Kano rolled around in surprise. There was a man on the roof of the building across the way who looked like he was getting ready to jump.
Looks like another jump, like no pun intended, that we can do.
Right. That looks like Minorikawa.
It does look like Minorikawa.
Yeah.
He's not having a good day.
He is not having a very good day at all. Why now? Kano thought to himself, but he couldn't just stand idly by while someone committed suicide. So, wait, are we gonna jump to the other building?
I think that's a little far.
Right! He felt a pang of disgust when he saw Tatano take in the situation with an indifferent glance, but make no move to help. Actually, knowing Minorikawa, I don't think that's what he's doing. I think, it's like one of those situations where we won't know until we are actually there.
Yeah.
Detective Tatano, I'll be right back, Kano exclaimed. We can finish this after. Without waiting for an answer, he raced for the other building. Oh my god, is he gonna make it on that? Holy shit. Of course, see, look! Oh my god. When he got to the second rooftop, the man was still there, staring down at the ground below. Don't do anything rash! Kano warned, hurrying towards him. When the man gave no response, though, Kano quickly halted. The stranger was still several meters away. Kano braced himself, ready to lunge for the man if necessary. Let's not be hasty. Nobody's going to be happy if you jump. Still, the man said nothing, simply gazing out at the sky. Surely he could hear Kano now. The detective continued, keeping his voice low and conversational. I've got a coworker. He's one of the most absurdly devoted husbands you could meet. All he does is brag about his wife.
Where are we going with this, Kano?
Right! I thought we were trying to make it about this guy, not about your friend. But okay, we're going there. Minorikawa probably looking down at someone who already jumped. Oh, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh no! Okay, he was stabbed in the belly earlier today. What, does he want us to get that's rough, buddy?
Yeah, I mean...
He's in the hospital right now, on death's door. He was happy, but now his life might get snatched away from him anyway.
Okay.
Okay.
That
Still
sounds like a you
appeared.
problem.
Right. Still, the man appeared unmoved. It was as if the words weren't even reaching him. Don't you think it's a waste to just go and throw your own life away? Kano waited for the man to respond. The stranger took a purposeful stride away from the fence, toward the roof's edge. Oh no! Stop! Don't do it! The man unflinchingly stepped out towards empty air. No! Kano sprang forward, somehow managing to grab hold of the stranger's wrist. He yanked the man back from the edge, getting only a blank stare in response.
What kind of drugs have you taken, Minorikawa?
Right, it's you, drunk. Don't go wasting your life like this. Ordinarily, Kano would have stayed and talked until he was sure this guy's death wish had passed. But there wasn't time for that right now. Mario was just in much danger at the very moment. Whipping out his handcuffs, he shackled the man to the fence.
Well, what?
Okay. What is happening? I promise I'll come back. Please just stay alive for a few minutes longer, okay? Wow, Kano left the man, staring in bewilderment, and raced back to the South Hill building. What the
Well, this went real well.
Amazing. This is what happens when you take the antiviral without being infected by the wall virus.
There we go.
When he got back to the roof, no one was there. Well, duh, idiot. Like, what do you think was gonna happen? They were gonna patiently just wait for you? No, that's not what happened. Kano immediately tried to call Tateno on his cell, but the call didn't go through. Tateno must have powered off his phone. Because he got angry that we, totally ruined our date. And we stood him up. Anyway, damn it, where'd you go, detective? He needed to hear what Tateno had to say. He still had no idea what was really going on, or what the grim truth might be. And it seemed that he had just lost his chance to find out. Yeah! In desperation, Kano rushed from the building. Wow. But in his frantic search for the area, he saw no sign of either Tateno or Mario. Later, a precinct-wide manhunt failed to discover where the two had gone.
I think we're hurtling towards a bad end.
Right, from that day forward, Kano was empty, carrying inside, carrying out his duties as a detective with bleak detachment.
Alright, bad end. Number 53, lost sight of Maria and Tateno. When Kano caught sight of a man about to commit suicide, it was Minorikawa, he couldn't ignore the situation and impulsively rushed to the rescue, but lost track of Tateno and Maria as a result. If Minorikawa hadn't turned up on that rooftop, Kano would have been able to focus on his primary mission.
Okay.
Alright. Who would you like to do next?
So we have to make sure that Minorikawa doesn't go
on
the roof.
Yep.
Okay, well, let's make sure he don't go on the roof.
Alright, let's do this.
Bitch, what are you even doing over there? Once again, Minorikawa ruins everything.
Yep.
Wow, it's Minorikawa versus the world. Alright, Minorikawa needed to get back to the editing office right away. But despite the urgency, he barely stumbled along. He was swaying on his feet, only half aware of what was even going on. No, this is all some sick joke. He just couldn't accept that Toyama was dead. He let out a lifeless sigh. A cynical smile crept onto his face. Man always did insist on having his own way, but killing himself? Back when he was still a novice reporter, Minorikawa had written a piece about a middle school girl who had committed suicide. The school had made a statement denying that bullying had been a factor, and so most of the media had reported that she had suffered a nervous breakdown over entrance exams.
A nervous breakdown is a period of mental illness manifesting as panic disorder, stress-induced anxiety, or the like. The term is commonly used to refer to serious health issues such as schizophrenia or bipolar disorder, manic depression, as well as the buildup of more minor stresses as part of everyday life. Because it is so broadly and vaguely defined, it's generally avoided in psychiatric contexts.
But something about the case had kept nagging at him. Had her death really been a suicide? The more people had interviewed about the incident, the more his doubts grew. The city news editor, however, would not allow him to conduct a follow-up investigation. The reason why was simple. This was the sort of thing that happened every day. They couldn't waste time on a case that was already on the books. It was more important for a reporter to find news stories than to squander time engrossed in a case that was old news. Minorikawa understood the editor's decision well enough, but that didn't mean he had to like it. Had he been sulking up on the roof, slowly nursing a cigarette, when the paper's local news copy editor, Toyama, happened to drop by?
At a newspaper, an employee who evaluates the quality and suitability of reporters' copy and coverage. Effectively, the boss of a group of reporters. However, the copy editor typically works under a section editor who has the final say about what makes the page. A middle management position caught between upstart reporters and an angry section chief. Did they say no to the follow-up interviews?
Toyama asked.
About that girl's suicide? The name of the girl who killed herself was Chiharu Fuyutsuki. After reading her diary, Minorikawa became convinced it wasn't an ordinary suicide. 6 years from now, Minorikawa will run into a certain teacher, and the investigation into the student's death will be reopened. But that's another story for another time.
Is there a second game?
I know that, so there is actually a second game to this, but it's
real?
only, like, vaguely related, I think.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Because if I remember correctly, it's called, like, Machi or something.
Oh, okay. We'll have to look into that.
I think it's only in Japanese. I don't think it's ever been localized.
Oh, shit. Well, there we go. Sorry, guys. Anyway, Minorikawa expelled a plume of his smoke along with his sigh. Nothing tasted quite as bad as a cigarette when he was down in the dumps.
So, what are you gonna do?
Quit smoking. No, he should. I'm not going to do anything, Minorikawa said. Editor told me no.
Oh, editor said not to. You sound like a child.
The rebuff from Minorikawa's temper flared. There are other interviews to do. I want to follow up on this, but there isn't any time.
You dumbass!
Toyama hauled up and hit him right across the face.
I think this is the first person to hit Minorikawa, so let's just, like, revel in this moment for just a moment.
Oh yeah, this is so beautiful.
If only it wasn't Toyama doing it, because he's been a dumbass and he needs someone to hit him, but also...
Right, this is beautiful.
This is beautiful, yes. What happened to the I write what I feel in my heart? That's the one thing I refuse to back down on. What happened to the guy that used to bitch at me like that?
Toyama's words hit the mark with a painful precision.
The interviews aren't over until you have what you need. No, you refuse to let them be over. You go after the truth no matter what anyone tells you. Isn't that what being a journalist is all about?
Minorikawa scowled in chagrin. The man was exactly right. Well, damn. Until you have what you need. Those words have stuck with Minorikawa ever since. In fact, he'd quit the paper to become a freelancer because he couldn't do his job the way he wanted while trapped in that hierarchy. Take it to the man, bitch! And that's what being a lawyer is all about. Yes.
Exactly.
Now he wondered, what if Toyama hadn't killed himself, but had instead been the victim of a terrorist attack? But after considering the idea of a moment, he thought bitterly. So what? The reasons and the details hardly mattered at this point. What mattered was that Toyama was dead. But he's not. Anyway, Minorikawa sat down listlessly and stared up at the sky. The blank swath of blue made him feel all the more worn out. Just what had all of this day's running around been for? Felt so empty, so hollowed out by loss. All his motivation had drained away. Had no idea what he should do next. Adopt the child! Anyway. Hey, Minorikawa, what should you do? Tried to listen to his inner voice.
Alright, you've forgotten your passion. You just need to get that back, or stand up. Right now, you just need to forge ahead.
Well, he definitely needs to stand up, because, like, okay, passion's great and everything, but, yeah.
Forge ahead?
Oh, actually, they said A. Okay, A, fine, A.
Alright.
You've forgotten your passion. You need to get that back. Yeah. That was his only option, really. He needed to turn back the clock to reclaim the fire that it had used to burn inside of him. Like a flaming moltres. And he knew just how to do that. Please quit smoking. Damn. Before he could, however, a young man stumbled across his path, taking a nasty fall on the pavement.
Oh, damn, that hurts.
The youngster scrambled back to his feet and turned to Minorikawa with a snarl.
What are you looking at, pal?
Your big ass earring. Nose ring, sorry. The young man clutched a piece of timber like a club. There was a nasty gleam in his eye. I'm not looking at anything, Norikawa sighed. Just happen to be looking at your general direction.
Shut your yap. Apologize, bitch, now!
Whoa.
Bitch.
The punk raised his cudgel. Oh, what for?
You tripped me, man. Ain't you gonna apologize for that?
Kid had stumbled all on his own, but was probably too embarrassed to admit it.
How much pride do you need to accuse someone of tripping you when you just stumble on your own?
Right, you literally tripped on air. Guess he's gotta vent his anger at someone. Listen, kid, Minorikawa said, it's not my fault. You're such a klutz.
You know, like the pedal in a car that's got a manual transmission? Oh, that's a clutch. Okay, then like lumps of earth or clay. Those are clods, you say? Right, so then we're talking about a sort of social get-together for a coffee and conversation? Huh? Oh, right, that's a clutch. Is that when you try to fix something using stuff that isn't really meant for that purpose? That's a kludge? Okay.
What is that? What was that segue?
The hell you just say to me? You got a death wish, pal?
No, I just have a death wish for whoever wrote the klutz thing. With a murderer's glare, the punk advanced on him, brandishing his weapon. Hey, Minorikawa said.
Alright, are we going to ask him, is it fun hitting people with that thing? Is it, alright, I'm sorry, or bring it on, bitch?
I think I've had a long enough day. I'll just say sorry and just let the bitch go.
We just want to like roll over and just let him go?
Yeah.
Alright. Rolling over.
Alright, I'm sorry. Getting dragged into a street fight was not what he needed right now. It was better to just apologize and be done with.
Should have shown me that kind of respect from the start.
Punk shook his head, muttering under his breath.
Another dumbass gotta get taught some manners.
Respect your elders, Zoomer. Anyway, with that, the young thug headed off to the direction of Doganzaka. If we let him knock on us, knock us out, we won't be able to get to the rooftop. Oh, that's true.
Remember, we're trying not to be on the rooftop, just as a reminder. You know, that rooftop that we're currently on.
No! So, I was worried more about his health, like, because, he just survived an explosion and inhaled a bunch of smoke. So he's still covered in smoke and probably injuries. So I didn't think it was a good idea to get injured.
And, you know, with all that smoke and stuff he just inhaled, he's going to add a cigarette on top of that. It's fine.
Right, what the fuck, Minorikawa? Wow, okay, we fucked up. We'll probably go back and get beat up anyway.
Yeah.
Minorikawa headed up to the roof of a nearby building and lit himself a cigarette. Tiny tendrils of white smoke drifted lazily up into the blue sky. His eyes tracked to the twisting movements of the smoke. Memories of Toyama and their newspaper days played through his mind. Practically any time the two men needed to speak to one another, they'd gotten into a heated argument on the spot. Minorikawa cherished his subjective viewpoints, while Toyama insisted on objectivity for the readership. Neither shied away from the vigorous... I forgot what that's like. But yes! Once the articles were on the page and on the door, it was all water under the bridge.
Look at them.
Oh, best co-workers, best bunnies. It felt almost like the referee calling no side at the end of the rugby match.
No side is the phrase called out by the referee to signal the end of a rugby match. It refers to the fact that no side has possession of the ball, allowing the two teams to part on sportsmanlike terms.
Seems shit. Never worry about Minorikawa's safety. He canonically follows up his investigation 6 years later and ruins everything for everyone else until then. True. Anyway, the truth was, somewhere deep down, Minorikawa got where Toyama was coming from. Without objectivity, readers didn't get the facts. Without subjectivity, they didn't get any emotional impact. Minorikawa had to credit Toyama for helping him become a full-fledged reporter.
Mr. Toyama was in there. It was a suicide.
Minorikawa let Chiaki's words drain from his mind, overriding them with one irresistible fact. The truth. Truth was in anything and everything. Truth could not be forgotten. Truth was all that remained in the end. Wow, that was a visual. Minorikawa smirked grimly at himself. He'd come up here hoping to reignite his journalistic passion, but instead, the emptiness within him had only grown. Yeah, this is gonna take a while. He sparked up a second cigarette. Bitch, stop smoking!
It's okay, dude. You're gonna hang out there for a bit, because you're gonna get handcuffed.
Right. Keep out.
So do we want to just change the
Yeah, let's go back and get beat up.
Okay.
For no reason. Because we can and we should. Because we don't want to be on that route. Yeah. Look at him. He's covered in smoke and we're like, who gives a F?
Alright, stumbling man. Okay. So, do we want to say, is it fun hitting people with that thing, or just bring it on?
Bring it on, bitch! Bring it on, bitch. The punk swung his wooden club without a moment's hesitation. Wow, he looked scary. Struck Minorikawa in the shoulder, knocking him off his balance. Whoa, okay, don't really bring it on.
Nah, man. It's too late for take-backs.
No! With a nasty little grin, the young fellow swung again. Then again, catching Minorikawa in the arm and side. So this is the second person who beat him up. Nice. Only when the journalist was curled up in a battered ball on the ground did the kid finally let up.
That's for that poor waitress you terrorized. Good to get a little warm-up in before I take down that other bitch.
Weapon still in hand, the punk marched off towards Dogonzaga.
Why do I get the weird feeling that we know the other bitch?
It's probably Achi. No.
That's my guess.
SOS does not honor the sacred right of take seats backseats.
Hey, are you okay?
No. Minorikawa was there to find Kizuka at his side. Once again, the man had impeccable timing.
Do you need a ride somewhere, maybe, sir?
The driver asked, keeping his tone polite.
No one's got us like Kizuka's got us.
That's our bro. Oh wow. Yeah, I do. To the hospital. Wow, we're a hot mess right now.
We are. Yeah, I think that was a bad end. Number 58, Pummel.
What?
A hot-headed young punk gave Minorikawa a beating bad enough to send him to the hospital. Maybe our reporter friend shouldn't be quite so confrontational with this fellow.
Oh. Okay. So I guess it's the other one. It's whatever A was.
Asking him whether it's fun? Well, like, I'm wondering, maybe not if it's... there's the time chart. So we have two actual, decisions here. So we said that we were going to get our passion back. But getting our passion back means going up to that thing. If we say go forward, are we going to go back to work on our article? And maybe go back to Heaven Publishing?
True. Yeah. Maybe we should change that one instead of getting beat up all the time.
Yeah.
But... Okay.
Because I can't imagine that the other one is going to help us out much.
Right. stand up. Right now, you just need to forge ahead. Yeah. That was his only option, really. He couldn't just let things end like this. And he still didn't have what he needed for his articles, so... Minorikawa took a deep breath, ready to get back on his feet. Before he could, however, a young man stumbled across, taking a nasty fall on the pavement.
Oh, damn, that hurts.
Hello, bitch.
Bitch, I'm back.
No.
Okay, so
Yeah.
same stuff, same stuff, same stuff. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Apologize, bitch. All right. Klutz, clatch, clap.
Clutch, clap, clish, close.
Okay. So I think that we need to apologize so that we can get past this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, blah 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 blah. Da 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 da. Because he actually will hit us with that. It doesn't go well for us.
No, we die. Anyway.
Yay, taxi!
It was Kimizuka.
Do you need a ride, sir?
Kimizuka asked. All politeness as he opened the back door. I mean, we deserve getting beat up, but the timeline demands otherwise.
Exactly. If you're heading to that publishing office again, I can get you there in 10 minutes.
Mizuka's driving was smooth as always. He wove his way skillfully through the series of back streets. Alright, anyway.
There was a big explosion earlier.
He explained.
The main roads are all gridlocked.
Yeah, Minorikawa muttered. I was there when it happened.
Oh wow, really? I'm glad to see you're not hurt then. Still, what a terrible thing. That minivan, I hear someone was inside when it exploded. I'm not sure if you were aware.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Oh, nothing gets past a reporter like you, I see.
Kimizuka finished Minorikawa an approving smile through the rearview mirror.
How much have you heard then? Rumor has it that the person who died was a middle-aged man.
Oh. Huh?
We taxi drivers tend to hear quite a bit ourselves.
Mizuka chuckled, but Minorikawa just cast his eyes down forlornly.
You look tired, sir.
Yeah, I guess so. His reply was barely audible. The taxi stopped outside of Heaven Publishing. Minorikawa left 1,000 yen bill on the seat and exited the cab. He was stumbling his way towards the building when someone called out to him.
Mr. Minorikawa!
Hmm?
Oh, wrong voice. Mr. Minorikawa!
Oh yeah, he definitely sounds like that. All taxi drivers know each other, yes. For a moment, Minorikawa didn't recognize the man with a high-pitched voice idling his sedan at the curb. But he took a closer look and realized it was Kenji Osawa.
And we have that jump, so...
Oh, Mr. Osawa. Sorry, but I haven't been able to look into that thing you asked about yet.
I see. That's quite alright.
Osawa looked pale and haggard. Minorikawa's reporter sense started tingling. This guy is the key to something. He recalled what he'd heard the detective and his buddy talking about back at the scene of the explosion.
Roughly 8 hours ago, they infected Maria Osawa with the WA virus. If we don't administer Kenji Osawa's antiviral before she develops symptoms...
You're caught up in something big, aren't you?
How do you know that?
You have that look of someone who's caught in something big. Because the reporter said simply, I'm Minorikawa. Osawa rolled his eyes.
Well, that'll make this simpler, I guess. Get in. I'll tell you everything.
Oh shit. Hell yeah. Minorikawa hesitated. This might be his big chance to land a beyond incredible scoop. I almost read that as Beyonce, but a Beyonce incredible scoop. Anyway, yeah, it felt like it was too late to matter. Still landing a major story selling out an issue of Heaven Publishing on the road. Wow, I skipped something. Selling out an issue of First Star General Gossip, putting Heaven Publishing on the road to solvency. All that was the least he could do in Toyama's memory. You don't drop a story until you have what you need. It was too late to save Toyama. But Minorikawa got in the car. 'Cause YOLO. Osawa's tale was beyond anything Minorikawa had imagined. So they send you threatening emails, devise a plan to kidnap your daughter in order to get the antiviral, and now that's failed, and they're turning into bioterrorism? Finally, Minorikawa was able to flesh out the story behind the conversation he'd overheard earlier. As he did, he could feel a growing sense of exhilaration. So basically, they're now effectively holding all the people in Shibuya hostage and demanding the antiviral. Is that it? Before Osawa could answer, a new idea occurred to Minorikawa. Wait, hold on. Didn't they just start by holding the whole city hostage? Why did they need to go through all the trouble of kidnapping your daughter?
I don't know.
Osawa said, shaking his head.
Perhaps they wanted the ransom money?
Valid. For a mere 50 million yen? Can't imagine international terrorists bothering for that much.
You can't know how terrorists think.
That was bad. You're the bitch who talks to viruses. Anyways, let's just assume, though. Could there be some other reason they abducted your daughter? Minorikawa really wanted to say, I'm Batman in that moment. Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Osawa didn't reply. He had probably been too preoccupied of finding his way to save his infected daughter to think about anything else. Valid. Still, something about the course of events didn't quite add up to Minorikawa, because he knows his fuck. But whatever the case, if the criminals were after this antiviral, the sticking with Osawa ought to bring him closer to the truth. Minorikawa was still mulling over when they arrived at the laboratory.
We're gonna break into a lab now? Uh-oh.
Oh shit! The two men hopped out of the car and were immediately rushed by a pair of security guards who subdued them in a matter of moments. Hey! Minorikawa protested. What the hell is this?
Unhand me!
Osawa yelled.
I'm Kenji Osawa. This is my lab.
But evidently that didn't matter to the guards. Shit. Another man emerged from the building. He and Osawa exchanged a few brief words. Judging from the tone of the conversation, this was someone who outranked Osawa at the company. Oh shit.
Take him away.
As the newcomer looked on, the guards dragged Osawa into the building. Let's use the "my pregnant wife is about to give birth" excuse.
There we go.
It could work, you never know. Hey! Minorikawa shouted at the man as he began to walk away. Don't you know what's going to happen to Shibuya? Don't you care? If you just stand by and let the people of the city die, Okoshi Pharmaceutical is going to be held responsible. The man stopped in his tracks. And if that happens, you'll be ruined personally too, Minorikawa added. You know I'm right.
That will be up for the police to decide.
You're gonna regret this. Don't be a fool. Oh, he's gonna be a fool. Minorikawa resolve was unwavering. His pen would mete out justice. He might have come close to forgetting what he once stood for, but now the old fire was back.
I see. It seems this isn't something to leave unchecked.
He gestured with his jaw.
Take him as well.
No! More security guards surrounded Minorikawa. Shit!
I don't know what we were expecting.
Stop it! Let me go! But though he struggled fiercely, there was no escape. Once he was dragged through those laboratory doors, Minorikawa never wrote another article again.
I think we hit another bad end.
Shit! I think we died.
This is definitely a minefield. Okay, bad end. Number 60, detained at the lab. Minorikawa accompanied Osawa to the lab, but there was no getting past the security guards. And if even Osawa can't get into his own lab, there's no real reason to go there. It's Osawa who needs to decide on a different course of action here. Okay, so it sounds like we need to change Osawa's decision.
Minorikawa got experimented on.
Yeah.
How many idiots does it take to screw in a light bulb? No,
A lot. Okay, so we have Osawa to fix. Let's see. I think we have the jump for Maria now. We haven't done anything with Achi at all. Kano's route is now changed. So yeah, we've got a lot of choices. Who would you like to do?
Let's visit Achi and see how he's doing.
Okay.
For long.
He's currently got an unconscious, he told me, so probably not great, but...
Yeah, that's not very lols.
Achi could hear ambulance and police sirens wailing on the main road. He looked down at Hitomi, slumped on a park bench next to him. You sure you're not hurt? He asked quietly, offering her a bottle of water.
I'm okay.
Hitomi took a sip from the bottle.
Thanks. I think I managed to calm down some.
Some of the color had finally returned to her face. I don't understand. Minorikawa, had so much smoke on his face. She's wearing white, and she's got, one blotch.
She looked like she, got off, the runway.
Yeah.
You know?
So, Achi began hesitantly. Inside that minivan.
Mario. Oh, wait.
Mario wasn't in there.
There was relief in her voice, but also a note of pathos.
I got a look in through the windshield. There was a man laid out on the back seat, but nobody else.
The dark cloud lifted from Achi's face. So it wasn't your sister?
No, I didn't see his face. Just that he was wearing a business suit.
Well, considering the fact that she would have recognized Tanaka, that is probably a good thing that she did not recognize his face.
Hey!
Achi felt the tension ebbing from his body. That's good then. That it wasn't her. I'd been worried. It was a shame about the poor devil who had been killed, though. Is it? Is it? Who was it, and why had he been there?
Reasons.
Because he's a piece of shit.
He sucks.
So, I guess now we're out of leads.
Hitomi murmured. She hung her head. We could try the surveillance center again for now, Achi said. It'll probably give us better odds of finding your sister than just walking around.
I guess you're right. Shall we then?
Hold on. Achi had a sudden flash of inspiration. My house is a lot closer from here. Maybe I should ask my dad if we can check the cameras from home.
You can do that?
We have the same system at our house. I'm sure my dad will let us use them. The two got up and headed for Endo Electronics. Sorry for the sudden zoom in of my face. Just grabbing water.
Listen, we need H2 agua sometimes. Okay.
We talk a lot on this stream. Achi decided to let his father know they were coming. He turned on his phone as they walked along. He'd had it off for a while, so first he checked his voicemail. There was one message. Wondering who might have called, he played it back.
It's not a Rickroll. No. Is this Achi Endo's personal cell phone? This is Dr. Saiki from Shibuya Central Hospital.
Seiichi Saeki, heart specialist and Suzune's attending physician. A preeminent surgeon who has successfully performed the Batista procedure, wherein the left ventricle is reconstructed after a third of it has been removed. Achi's expression stiffened. He pressed the phone closer to his ear.
There's been a sudden change in Suzune's condition. I tried calling your home as well, but got no answer.
Achi felt the edges of his vision growing dim.
As her brother, it would be good if you can come to the hospital as soon as possible. It's Not good. Probably. Oh shit.
Achi?
Hitomi's voice was full of concern. Sorry, I just gotta make a call here. Fingers trembling, Achi dialed his house. The phone rang several times before switching over to the answering machine. Damn it. Where the hell are you, Dad?
Doing dad stuff.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
Hitomi asked. It's Suzune. It sounds like things have gotten pretty bad.
Well, then we need to get to the hospital right away.
Hitomi said. She sounded as anxious as Achi was. We can't go yet. Achi shook his head quietly. First, we have to save your sister. Hitomi bristled angrily at that.
What are you talking about?
She grabbed Achi by the arm and shook him.
Right now, you need to be thinking about your sister.
I can't. I made a promise to Suzune. A promise to help people and see things through to the end when something important is on the line. He struggled to get the words out. If I break that promise, then I really am no good to her. But Hitomi didn't look like she was going to back down.
I'm gonna slap you.
Oh shit! Oi! Get back here!
A threatening shout rang out from nearby. Achi looked around, startled, and saw a boy about high school age bolting out from behind a building on a side street. Several slightly older men were hot on his heels. Achi knew their faces all too well. They were all members of SOS. They caught their quarry just before he could make it out onto the main road.
Gotcha, newbie.
So the kid they were after must have been a member too.
Let me go. Oh, we'll let you go, alright, after you pay up.
One of the young men snatched the boy by the collar and shoved him against the wall of a nearby building.
Yeah, Capitan.
No. Ow!
The boy's face scrunched up.
What are you talking about? Playing dumb, huh?
Interjected one of the onlookers.
Told you that members all have to pay monthly dues, yeah? Privilege of getting to call yourself SOS don't come free after all.
Achi felt his blood boil. SOS was trying to pull a shakedown on this new kid under the guise of calling it dues. A shakedown is slang for extortion, a full-fledged crime. Naturally, the direct shakedown, give me all your money, punk, is quite unpleasant, but more roundabout ways of being shaken down can still leave a bad taste in one's mouth. Someone who was surrounded on the street by 8 people in pompadours who said, begging your pardon, but could you please hand over your money, might suffer no physical harm, but would still be the victim of a shakedown. It would have been
Cough up your lunch money, punk.
Exactly. It would have been unthinkable for them to do something like this back when Achi was running the show. Hey! He barked. Let the kid go! He marched toward the group.
Say what now?
They turned to look, their faces immediately going pale.
Oh, hey, Achi.
Let him go. Achi focused his glare on the fellow holding the kid until he released his grip. You guys always go around doing stuff like this? None of the gang members answered. They merely turned their gazes glumly to the ground. Hey. Achi turned to the younger boy. Since when have they been doing this? But, of course, he realized there was no way the newbie would be able to tell him. Never mind, you can go. Achi gestured toward the main road. The boy was quick to run off. Achi waited until the boy was gone before turning back to the others. Does Susumu know you're going around collecting dues like this? He asked.
Man, we don't gotta tell you that.
One of them muttered.
No, not since you deserved it.
What'd you just say? Achi leaned in close, getting right in the guy's face. He was met with a defiant sneer.
This ain't the old SOS anymore.
Not the old SOS. Achi thought back to the other gang member he'd run into earlier, with the malicious gleam in his eyes. That guy. Pretty sure he said his name was Kirya? Back when Achi had been with SOS, he'd never have let a guy like that get away with acting all high